I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review and installation of the Airaid MXP series cold air intake fitting all 2012 and up JKs with the 3.6 liter engine. There are two different versions of this kit available, one with the SynthaMax air filter in either red or blue, and one with Airaid's premium air filter. Today we're going to talk through the installation of this cold air intake, which I'm going to give a 2 out of 3 wrenches because there is some cutting of the factory air box involved to get this installed. We're also going to talk through the construction and a few of the features of the system. Anytime you help your engine to breathe easier either in or out, you are theoretically going to see some horsepower and torque gains. However, with a Jeep, most of those gains are going to be at the very top of the RPM range, where we don't spend a ton of our time. So what I would expect from a cold air intake like this is a little better throttle response, some more noise from underneath the hood, and possibly a few miles per gallon increase. You may feel a little bit of a power increase, but again, that is going to be more at the top of the RPM range. I do like this system because it has a completely enclosed air box, and what that is designed to do is get the coldest, freshest air possible for an air box that's still going to be under the hood, where it's generally warmer than outside of the Jeep. This also does come with a couple of different choices for air filters. So again, the SynthaMax filter that has a little bit less cotton gauze in it and is designed to be a better filter, filtering out more particulate, or the slightly less expensive premium air filter that does have a little bit of the cotton gauze in it. As far as pricing goes, for an enclosed airbox cold air intake, this is right where I would expect it to be, and it's in line with some of the other brands that we have available. As you can see, this cold air intake comes in a couple of different pieces, and like I said, one of those is the fully enclosed airbox. And what an airbox like this is designed to do is draw the coldest possible air into the engine for a box that is still in the engine bay. And I say that because you're still going to be drawing air that's underneath the hood that has been warmed up from the engine giving off heat. The only way to get truly cold, fresh air into the engine would be a snorkel or something like a ram air setup that is available on the site. However, this is going to do a nice job of drawing colder air and getting more air into the engine than that factory system would. Aside from the enclosed box, you of course have your cold air intake tubing and filter. And as I mentioned before, there are a couple of different filter choices available. The SynthaMax filter from Airaid is a little bit more expensive than their premium filter, and it has less cotton gauze in it, and it is designed to filter out even smaller particulate. But if you want to save a little bit of money, or you're not as concerned about the filtration qualities, you can go with the premium filter. Still a great filter, just has a little bit more of the cotton gauze inside of it. This system is designed to be mostly bolt-in. You don't have to cut the Jeep, but you do have to cut up your factory air box. You're going to remove the factory air scoop and put it onto this air box. And part of the reason that you have to do that is because this is a 50-state legal system, so it can be used in California. So there are a couple more restrictions that need to be taken into account. As I said before, I am going to call this a 2 out of 3 wrench installation. Generally, a cold air intake, especially one that is not an enclosed air box like this one is a very, very simple install. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, and we're calling it a 2 out of 3 wrenches because of the cutting you have to do on your factory air box to remove that factory air scoop and attach it to the new box. So the first step is, of course, removing the engine cover and removing all of your factory air intake system. That will include disconnecting the air temperature sensor and the crankcase vent. Once the old system is out of the way, you can start assembling your new system. There are a couple of brackets and plates that you'll install onto the box, and of course this does come with all of the hardware and connectors as well as the clamps that you're going to need to get it installed. Once you've gotten as far as you can with this on the bench, you'll go ahead and mark and cut your factory airbox to remove that airbox scoop and mount it on your new box. From there, it's just a matter of getting this all into the Jeep. You will have to change out a couple of grommets that hold that factory airbox into place to accept your new larger airbox, and you will also have to change out a couple of the clips on that engine cover because that does sit over top of the airbox as well. The whole installation is not a difficult one, and it should take you less than 2 hours. However, there is a little bit of cutting that is involved, as I mentioned before, so this isn't something that you're going to be able to easily swap your factory airbox back in again if you ever decide to go back. You will have already cut up that factory airbox and it won't be any use to you anymore. So to get this installed, you are going to need some traditional hand tools, and you are going to need a Dremel or something that can cut plastic in order to remove that air scoop from the factory box. I mentioned before, as far as a fully enclosed airbox cold air intake system goes, this is right around where I would expect it to be. There are some that are a couple of dollars more, a couple of dollars less. Some of those ones have some more features. For instance, because this is an enclosed airbox, inspecting the filter can be a little bit difficult, so some of the systems on the market actually have an indicator that use vacuum to tell you when your filter is starting to get clogged up, but you do pay for those additional features. So it comes down to your budget and what you want for your Jeep. Airaid has been around for a good long time in the cold air intake space, and they do make a pretty good product. So if you're looking for a cold air intake to install on your Jeep that is going to draw some of the coldest possible air from underneath the hood and possibly give you a little more throttle response, some more noise from underneath the hood, and a few more miles per gallon, as well as a little bit more power at the top of the RPM range, this is going to be a nice kit. This is going to be slightly less expensive than, say, the InGen system, but again, that does have a few more features. Overall, I would say that this is a really nice choice for an enclosed airbox cold air intake system. So that's my review of the Airaid MXP series cold air intake system fitting all 2012 and up JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.